Hi. This is why I've been having difficulty uh like doing kind of simple things that which is because I haven't had the energy. I quit caffeine a week ago. I quit all caffeine, and I also quit all my medicine that Danica had me on for 18 years. She had me on medicine, which I didn't need to begin with. I know I didn't need it to begin with. No one ever said anything was wrong with me who knew me before Danica and her father. They like pretend people are crazy and need to be put on medicine or something. And I was at the time, it was 18 years ago, about 2004, and so I was going through a really stressful time with like tons of stuff I had to do every day, like 2 full-time jobs worth of school and an internship and commuting 7 hours a day to LA. So it made me like have anxiety a bunch. And instead of changing the event, the things that are in my life that directly affected it, the difficult stuff I was going through, instead of saying, quit that internship up in LA that had to drive 7 hours, 3 hours there, 3 hours back. My house was an hour away from the campus. They said it's an immersion program. You just go to the school. Don't have an outside job. You're supposed to only go to the school. You can live on the student loans, live near campus. That's all you can handle is the full-time school. They said don't get an outside job. Don't do anything different. But to save my dad money, a little money on tuition, I thought I'd graduate early. And I got an extra internship and took another extra class or something, and another extra class. And so it was too hard to do. And I was living in the corner of my friend Nathan and Teresa, their one-bedroom apartment. They had a one-bedroom apartment in Long Beach, which is about an hour away from the school. And this is California, and I was only paying $200 a month. And my dad was like making it so, they were saying, okay, you can stay, but they didn't want me there. And it's like their one-bedroom apartment, a husband and a wife, when they were young, right before they got married, they were together. And I was staying in the corner of their apartment, and it was so much anxiety. I was driving 6 or 7 hours a day. So Danica, when she showed up back in California, we got our own apartment. I was still kind of worked up from it, and she put me on medicine. And I've been on it for 18 years. And I started looking into long-term side effects of it. And I think there's some possible long-term side effects of it. So I was pretty worried, and I got the feeling you should quit the medicine. I should quit the medicine because it was something good that I was supposed to do. So for about a week now, I have not been taking any of the medicine, and I have not been drinking caffeine because it interacts with caffeine. And I quit it in January of 2021, and it was amazing. All my anxiety went away. All my anxiety went away when I quit the medicine, because I quit caffeine too. So I got to sleep in a bed like the first 2 weeks, and I caught up on sleep finally, because the caffeine is the thing that was making me on edge. And when I quit the medicine, I made sure to quit caffeine too, because if you don't quit caffeine and you're taking some of those medicines like risperidone and stuff that help you take at night and you fall asleep better, it gives you a little more appetite. And when I quit the medicine and you have to quit caffeine too, or else you won't be able to sleep. Because I tried quitting it when I was younger. I was worried about this medicine. Tried quitting it years ago, and it made it so I couldn't sleep at all for 2 weeks, and it was really scary. So I found and that that I quit caffeine too and the medicine at the same time, then I can sleep. And if I really need to sleep a little more, I can take melatonin. But like I filmed a video earlier today and it was like I didn't quite have the energy because I haven't had any of the medicine in my system that I was on for 18 years. It's like little things were like hard to do. Like it was like hard for me to use the bathroom. It was hard for me to like go through all this stuff to flush the toilet one more time and go through the stuff or like um it was like harder to do stuff, but it made me sleep, really sleepy. So after I filmed that last video, I fell asleep all day until now. I was singing Night Train, and I felt like I looked a little heavier because I was eating more food and sleeping now for about a week. You know, because I haven't had any caffeine and I quit all the medicine. So I'm adjusting and getting back to normal and trying to quit all the medicine that I've been on for 18 that I was on for 18 years since about 2004. So like haven't been trying to like lose a bunch of weight and look as in good shape and good looking as I can or something like that. I've been eating more food when my body needs the food and sleeping a bunch. I've been sleeping, I had to catch up on sleep because before that, it got so crazy. Before I quit the medicine, to lose weight, I was drinking 20 or 30 cups of coffee a day. Sometimes like 10 Red Bull energy drinks, but I had to watch it on that because I didn't want the aspartame to kill me or something. So I'd only have the aspartame like once every couple weeks or I'd only have it sometimes. And then I'd usually have black coffee because it's been proven to not be too unhealthy. And I have large amounts of caffeine, 20 or 30 cups, and try to fast as much as I could. And I wasn't getting enough sleep. So I had to catch up on sleep. Now I had to catch up. Eddie said something on there. I had to catch up on sleep now for about a week. And I feel really mentally well adjusted. Like right now, when I woke up after sleeping, I slept all day after that video I just filmed before this. I was singing Night Train and lifting weights. I was starting to get my energy back without the caffeine. It's pretty amazing. You can get the energy back without the caffeine once you sleep enough. It's like some of those medicines are kind of a placebo, but they interact with caffeine in these crazy ways. And if you don't get enough sleep, it can make you feel like you're crazy or something. So I've finally been getting enough sleep. So after the last video, I went to sleep, and I felt amazing when I woke up. I really felt happy and okay. And I don't have any anxiety right now. I feel pretty good. And I'm gonna look at the comments and see if people are saying, see if Eddie's on there or something. I saw. Hi. So, for about a week now, I haven't been trying to drink 20 or 30 cups of coffee. I've never drank that much alcohol. Earlier today, I did have a 100 calorie alcohol because I was having a breakdown. I must have not gotten enough sleep, and I thought I had to go out there and work at my parents' houses, and I had just mowed my lawn yesterday, which had been neglected, and it was a kind of mowing that was not easy, and I thought I had to sell my entire house, and I had to put together an entire lawnmower with like oil and get gas at the store and mow it all myself instead of hiring a lawn care person, because I didn't want to do it one more time. I just didn't want to do it one more time because when I got this house, it had huge weeds and poison ivy trees, and I had to take it out by hand, and it took so much more work than a regular just mowing a lawn on a nice day on a regular flat lawn. Like it just has regular grass. That's not that hard to do. So I just didn't want to go out in that lawn and do it again. But I got a real motor lawnmower, so I can mow over all the weeds and everything. Because I only had so I thought I'll get one like I used to have when I was a kid, when I mowed my parents' lawns or something. But something told me, don't even do it. Something told me, out here at this house, it's so beautiful and it's so far out in the woods that you don't even really have to mow the lawn. And it gets about like this high, and then it starts getting cold, and then it goes away, and then the weed plants die and stuff. And then I got the lawn to where it's kind of under control. You kind of don't have to mow it all year. And something told me, don't put the lawnmower together. Don't do it. And I like got the thought that for my conscience not to do it. And but somehow I thought, I gotta sell my house. I gotta make enough money. So I felt bad because I've been getting money from my parents. That's the thing. I've been getting some money from my parents to barely get by. And the kind of work I did was mostly working on my own house. So I got a loan. I got a $70,000 loan against the house. I got $70,000 cash to live on and work on the house, put into the house. So when I got the $70,000, I lived on it for a while, but then I hadn't worked on the house that much. And I really, really had to work in the house, like long hours, 12 hours a day for like a year or two or something like that, 8 months. It was 8 months the second time I had to do it. And it almost put me in a hospital, and it was so hard to do. And I mean, my dad wanted me to do that work. He helped me get that $70,000 loan, and I had to do the work to make the house go up in value that much. I think at least it must have gone up $140,000, more than it was worth. So I bought the house for being worth. It was like $102,000, covered in weeds, huge weeds. There was moss growing. There were holes in the walls and raccoons in here. Most people would not touch this house. They couldn't imagine how much work it needed for a renovation. And somehow I did it. I don't know how. I don't know how I did it. And I worked on it for 5 years, and it's worth like 500 something thousand dollars now. So it was 102,000 when I bought it. So I was able to borrow against it and get money. And but then the loan from the bank wasn't quite enough, so I've been getting money from my mom, who like tells me that when Noni died, my grandmother, that she had a fund of money from her, something about like it goes to the grandkids or something, and she's been giving me like $2,000 a month or something like that, a little more. And it's just, I feel bad about it. And I think my dad is like, what are you doing working on these videos, trying to get these videos to work from here? And the most worrisome had been was my kids in Texas. And I don't have love at home, and I'm all alone. Like when I go out into Roanoke in the town, it's like I don't even go out there that much, because what would I do? I'd go to the bank to deposit the little money my mom gives me. She gives me a bunch of cash because she gets like all this cash from the rental houses they have. They pay her in cash, so she has all this cash, and she gives me like, she might give me $4,000 one time when I get her a house or something. And then so I have to. The only places I go are like, sometimes I go to my parents' houses, sometimes I go to the bank to deposit money in town. But then I did try going to Los Angeles, and I did try going to Texas, but it was wrong timing because I'd yelled at Danica's parents, because they had been there for 5 years. They took my wife and kids for 5 years, and I don't know, if she's my wife. I guess she's my wife, but I'm still supposed to honor her. I know God has us still honor one another. Because if I said the slightest mean little thing, and it made me cry so much last night because I felt like I hurt her feelings, and I didn't want her to be stuck sad, like me dead, and her having to go on living, and then the kids eventually left her, and she had to be alone like me, a suffering life or something. It was like so sad and traumatic, and so I was like, I can't kill myself or something like that. And then you know, I didn't want to make her feel bad, but she hasn't showed me love, and like she hasn't showed me love. So anyway, it's been not the easiest, but I woke up today and felt really well rested and everything felt okay. And it's been better and better since I quit this medicine and quit the caffeine. Since I quit the medicine and quit caffeine, because I can finally sleep. That's the thing that causes the craziness, the lack of sleep sometimes. Like when people are drinking caffeine and not sleeping enough, for some people are calm and okay on it. Yeah, okay on without sleep. But for me, it put me on edge. Like even if it was like slightly not enough sleep, like I needed 2 or 3 hours more, it had me kind of on edge and stuff. And and then I was also drinking coffee. Um and so now I feel more well rested. I feel more well rested and okay. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get sleep. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna sit here and talk or something. But this feels pretty good that I quit the medicine. But it's like I don't know what else to say. And I woke up, and instead of trying to drink coffee and fast and not have any food till nighttime, or 14 hours later trying to lose weight, because I've lost 30 pounds now. I did it with fasting and working out and stuff, because I had gotten my heaviest. Earlier this year, I was my heaviest. I was pretty freaking heavy. It was like, shit, he's really strong and really... it looked like I was like 248 pounds. I was like 248 pounds. And like, I saw some video of myself and I was like, yeah, or something. It was like, it looked like, it was like, it looked like a 400-pound big police officer or something from like, who was it? He was like, yeah, wearing all his uniform and everything. He's really big. And it was like, what the heck? And it was like, but it was like fat too a little bit. And and so now I'm down to 215. I'm down to 215. And I couldn't run. I was so heavy I couldn't run. And and so I feel better now. But I was working out with weights, so I was doing something. So I was at least doing something to stay kind of healthy. And they're proving that that's one of the ways that some of the fitness experts of today work out. They do not do aerobic. They only do strength training, but they eat way less food. They eat way less food. So that's how they keep the muscle on. They think that the aerobic makes their muscle smaller. Some people, they're all various theories and ways that people use to keep in shape. But so ideally I like doing strength training and being lighter so I can also do the aerobic, like running. I really like running and aerobic. Like I haven't gotten to ride a bike in town. And I don't know what to say, but I've gotten in better shape now. But it's like I've lost 30 pounds or something. But now that I quit the medicine, now that I'm doing something to quit the medicine, I was having to, like, instead of fast and lose weight as much, I was taking it easy, eating regular meals, but like I haven't gained weight. I've about plateaued I'm like 218 pounds or something like that. And I'm not trying to keep getting in the most awesome shape, but the amazing thing is that when I quit the medicine and quit the caffeine, I have less appetite, because the medicine that I was on gave me more appetite, and I was on a kind of heavy amount of it, and it's risperidone, and it gives you more appetite. And so when I quit that and quit the caffeine, I didn't have the appetite. I don't have as much of an appetite, but I had to sleep more, and so I didn't have the energy at first. So it's like I did so I have to quit the medicine because um, there are long-term side effects that I've been on it 18 years, and I don't want something to go wrong with me. So I think it was time I had to quit the medicine. So I quit the medicine. I feel, listen to me talk now, how well adjusted. You know, I'm like really well adjusted. I just need more sleep. Like after that video I filmed today, I slept all day until uh, before this video, until a little bit before this video, until a little bit before this video. So, so I don't know where I'd go now. I don't know where I'd go, but I'm still in okay shape because I did lift like a bunch of weights earlier today and stuff and whatever. But, you know. Yeah, so I sound like more well adjusted and okay. I don't know what's going on with my hair, why it's so blonde, but it was an easy way to do something in my hair to have it like either like a haircut or something, and it just happened to come out this way. Just happened to come out this way. I put more bleach in it, so it was all the same color, and it looked like there wasn't gray in it or anything, which I haven't had a problem. I haven't had a problem with gray at all for like a year or two. It looks like I don't have any gray anymore. And it was just because I made my hair blonde, and so somehow it just looks like it's blonde. And and so but it's like really blonde because I bleached it again. So it'll start growing in or whatever, but I don't know. And I don't want to let it grow my real way it looks. I'm not into that as much. I don't like the way that would look, like the real way it looks with it. It might be a little more gray now, but I haven't had an issue with the gray look stuff. I haven't seen any gray in my hair for like two years or something. It went away, but it's like, you know, it was starting to go gray, but now on the back of it, it's like all I did was put the bleach to take the color out of the dark, and that's how it looks. I don't know why, but it's like, you know, it'd be better to go to a real a person who does hair to make it look like professional instead of trying to do it myself. But that's been a miracle. But then I got the thought out there. I was driving down the road. Somebody else in the road has gray hair. This woman who let her hair grow, well, she's kind of young. She looks okay. She still looks okay, and she's about my age. And she let her hair grow all gray. She just doesn't dye it. She's against doing any of that stuff that thinks is fake or something. And so she let it be all gray. And I got the feeling when I was on the road, just with all your might and all you have, let your hair be gray. And I thought, you know, it's been these thoughts almost from my conscience, but maybe from a voice that I don't know where, for about a year or so now, tell me to hurt my body, almost die, instead of being the most athletic, amazing feeling one, like embrace like feeling like saying something like, it's been so awful, telling me something like, but it's like my conscience, but I don't know. And this is when I was on the medicine, when I was hearing like kind of hearing voices when I was on the medicine. When I stopped the medicine, now I feel well adjusted, but um, that depends on other things. But like, it was telling me, like, I get the thought of Danica, like every day, telling me she wants me to look old and frail or something like that. Like when I was in the car driving, and somehow I didn't know it, but there's an attractive young woman pulling up like this, or attractive woman, and before I had any idea there was any woman around me, I get the thought from Danica, I want you to be old, withered out, frail, tattered, something like that, something like that. And I'd have to act like that with all I had. And then sure enough, the young woman would look at me and like shake her head, no, like no interest in me. I'll feel like total shit. But that time when it actually happened other times in that way. And the time when somebody was pulling, like when I got the thought from Danica, I want you looking like, you know, these awful words to embrace, like old, frail, tattered, not tattered, but like haggard or something like that, and tell me, and other things, it became almost more horrific, like I should just die, you know, where's this going? I should probably just die and embrace like things that would kill me. And I stopped listening to it, and I was like, and I just said, wherever that's coming from, I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to look like shit. I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to say with all my might how old I am and weak or something like that. And thank God they didn't get to hurting my bones with those things, because one of the things was, it was like frail bones. When it got to something about frail bones, I was like, fuck that. I don't want to start having frail bones. and so it was like voices or something. But it was Danica. It was like a conscience. It was like in my conscience. And then but she wanted me to be like, and it made sense, because when I looked at my parents and looked at her parents, they're in their 70s now, and I felt so athletic. I was like running up and down. Well, I haven't gone up that part of the mountain, but I was pretty athletic, you know, compared to them. And they didn't want to see me in my videos working out and in good health. And even though people my age may have thought, you know, he's a little too heavy, he's 20 pounds overweight, something like that, when these older people looked at me, they're like, you know, he looked so healthy. And it was kind of inappropriate. So, but I've had enough of feeling bad and having like feeling older, looking worse. My face, like with the weight that I had gained, wasn't looking as good for about a year now. It's just felt so bad. It's felt so bad. And so I stopped listening to it, and I don't care what it stands for. I don't want to embrace my body being hurt and feeling worse. I don't want to say that with all my might about myself, you know? Why would out of nowhere I have to say those things about myself? And it hurt. It kind of hurt my body. Made my not physically hurt it, but it made it feel worse and made my face look worse and stuff. So I don't want to do that. So I don't want to act like I'm older. Like when I was younger, it's like it's consciously aware that I could say what they want me to say, or I could almost tell them fuck you, and get in the best shape I'm able to, and look way younger, you know. And I don't see how that's wrong, but it's like, because I'm literally 44. I'm literally 44. There are people around me getting older. You know, sometimes I hadn't seen somebody in many years, and I saw one of them, and he had an old man's long gray beard. And I was like, what the heck, you know? And he had injured his arm, one of my good friends, so he wasn't working out. But I could tell, you know, his eyes could look way younger if he got more athletic. When people get super athletic, when they actually lose more body fat than this, their under eyes are flat. Their under eyes have flat and no fat in them, you know, unless they're too old. But if they're that old, once they're in their 70s and they haven't kept up after it by like keeping the body fat low, if it's possible to keep your body fat so low, when you see people like that, they have flat under eyes. They might have wrinkles or something if it runs in their genetics. But they have flat under eyes. They don't have those fat, they don't have like those bloated under eyes that make people look older. And that's possible to look way younger when you lower your fat and you get really healthy and athletic. But it's like, it may not be appropriate with the people in your life and shit, but I've had enough of it. I had enough of it because it's been such a struggle for about a year. Something happened about a year or so, more than a year ago, and it just has felt so bad. So I lost weight. I started losing weight. I was like, I don't care what the fuck this shit is. Maybe it's a random voice or anxiety. I don't care about it. And I lost 30 pounds. So far I've lost 30 pounds. And I feel like I still don't look like, you know, how would somebody like this look like an A-lister, you know, an A-list actor in his prime? How would I make it out in Hollywood looking like this? Because I still, you know, you can tell there's still fat on me and stuff. But that's such a small, insignificant thing compared to, you know, getting back, hurting the kids. So I think, so it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills. I actually don't, but I have a net worth in this house that God gave me. Literally, God gave me, that I was not expecting. That was from suffering and long hours of hard work and hard labor on this house. That I didn't know why I had to do it, but I had a good feeling I better get to work on this house, because I didn't know what else to do to make money. And so, and because my parents do real estate and I was close to them and honored them, I had to do their kind of work no matter how I felt. And it wasn't easy, but the value of the house went up. But I don't have access to it, so I'm getting by on like little ass amounts of money, like really small amounts of money. And I had to buy my groceries on a credit card. And I didn't know how I'd get groceries, and I was living off my food was, my refrigerator was empty. The downstairs had like old frozen meat. And I was eating like peanut butter that I had still, and it just felt bad. And I was like, I really wanted groceries again, but I didn't have any money in my account. I had like negative $100, and so somehow I found one of my credit cards that had enough money to buy groceries. I did something, and somehow I put in the right credit card, and I paid for the grocery delivery. I paid for the grocery delivery, and I got these really good meals from, but I have in my house, I have, you know, a real net worth. That's more than above average. You know, this house is a 12-bedroom. This house is an 8-bedroom house, at least an 8-bedroom house. Potential 7 bathrooms. 7 bathrooms. It actually has 3 working baths, and it's on 9 acres, and it's a regular house you can live in. That I had to work on every inch of it, get it ready, whatever. So it's good, because I was working on it for 5 years full time. This entire time I had it. Not all the time. Sometimes I did videos for like almost an entire year and did, well, 6 months, and then worked a little on my house. And or you know, but I don't know if I can keep working on the house anymore. And it's been so difficult. Like just this shit. Like this guitar, I had to use a wet napkin to get the dust off it, because I can't breathe that dust in too much. And like in this, but there's no dust anywhere else that I know of. But I hadn't dusted off that guitar, and before this video, I was messing with it with the with the tripod to put on top of it, because like I don't know where my actual tripod is. It's in storage because I hid stuff, so I put it in storage, ready to pack up and move. Because I might have to leave my house to make sure I have enough. And it's a little bit worrisome. Like my dad's like, "What are you doing for a living?" And my mom keeps helping me with money a little bit, and it's for my grandmother who passed away. She says it's okay, and it's not that much. It's like they think it's a pittance or something. It's a small amount for how much they make. They get like 20,000 cash from the rental properties every month. They have like 20,000 cash or 30,000, and they have just as much stock as their houses, and they have I don't even want to talk about it, but they're maybe the richest people I know, but they're not even really rich, and it's hard to believe that they would be that way because they're pretty nice, but they but they worked really hard, and they're not even the ones who wanted to be rich. They don't say they're rich. We never said we were rich because it says in the Bible it's wrong. How do you get into heaven? How would you make it into heaven through the eye of a needle, like a camel going through the eye of a needle? So we never tried to be rich. But they only have like nowadays there are hundreds of millions of people, or like in the U.S. there's maybe like 60 million people who are millionaires. So it's not as much as it used to be. It's not as much as it used to be. And they're afraid that they'll lose the money if they don't constantly work, or if they don't work enough at it. And but the amount they give me is like not that much, but I'm afraid to talk to them and admit that they're helping me with the money. So I got this house. I did all the work for the house, made the house go up in value. So if I have to sell it, I'm ready. I can leave and sell the house, and I'll have a bunch of cash, and can enough to make it out in LA to start working as an actor in LA. But I felt like I haven't looked like a real lead actor. Like Jason Momoa, he's my age. Chris Pratt, there are these other famous people, but they have less body fat than me, so they probably look a little better. I don't know what I look like, but that was like a struggle for about a year now. But I have good health. I have really good teeth. Actually, I have really good teeth. Really good teeth. And for some reason, when I put a white, bright face makeup on that was like reflective and white, it looked like my teeth aren't as good. I think I have the best teeth of anyone I know, besides my kids. Besides kids, I've really worked on my teeth being good, but I've never whitened them. So, like, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I was thinking like, some people who don't have good teeth or something. I don't know, but I had to work on my teeth since I was a teenager or whatever. But my parents have been helping me the whole time with money, so I felt bad about it, and I'm ready to leave if I have to, and I can survive. I have enough food in the refrigerator in here to where nothing can happen to me if I stay here and put my house for sale. But it's like I'm afraid to ask for too much from them. But they didn't like help. They didn't want to help me stay in California while the house was for sale. They thought that was too expensive, and so it's but I did all the work to make this house worth a bunch of money. So it's like I have no interest in staying. I have no desire to stay here and make the house be worth $1 million or $2 million, which is a possibility, because if I get every bedroom ready and looking better and better, it'd be 12 bedrooms, a 12-bedroom house in Roanoke County, where the real estate is valuable, and but the road makes it a little different here, so I don't know if it would be, but it requires so much money, and my parents are helping with money. But I got a $70,000 loan. When I first got here, I had gotten on my own. I worked a year, 12 hours a day on the two houses that I did have that I was left with after I worked for my parents for like 10 years. And I got them like new, ready to pass the real inspections and all that stuff back then. And that was not easy. It had to be their ways. It had to be done right. It was not easy. And I sold the houses. I got a bunch of cash. I don't know how much, but I got one check for like $155,000 cash, and I deposited it in the bank from one of my houses. It was like $155,000 check, and but I had $70,000 of credit card debt that I had to use. I was afraid. I had a little argument with my parents. I wanted to get away from them and on my own. So I didn't like the way it felt. Like something traumatic happened to me at the end of 2014, and I didn't know if I could trust anyone anymore. So I had to try to get assets and stuff in my name at the time, I thought. And so I had to kind of like, but somehow, like, I don't know how much my sisters have, but I made sure I had money in this house, so I'll be okay somehow if I have to sell it. But I've had to borrow money from my parents just to get by. They've been giving me like however much a month, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Now I want to go to California or something and work there in movies, because my videos aren't making it from here. So unless the videos really start taking off. But that dust really got to me on this guitar. I was fiddling with the top of it, putting the tripod on it, and messing with the dust and everything. And then I was like ready to film a video, and it like the dust of it got in my air. The dust of it got in my breathing, and that sucked. And so it's been a thing, like working on this house indoors. So when I got to this house, it was not that good of a, it was not in good condition. So I've gotten to where the air in here, like this is what I should probably do. I have this thing. To filter the air. I'll just turn that on and get rid of the dust. I'll turn that on. That gets rid of the dust. That'll make it like more breathable in here. I have a humidifier, dehumidifier. I've had to keep the entire place clean. It's not like this house ever was, because it used to have missing windows and doors and stuff, but it must have been now it has a dishwasher. It has other stuff that it's just it hasn't been easy making it like a livable, like a regular house, like out in the world, how regular homes are. It wasn't that way when I got here. There was no real heat, I think. I had to, this thing had all this crud inside of it, and you couldn't use it to even burn firewood to keep warm. And I thought I was gonna freeze in here if I didn't do enough work. So I had to work on this house 12 hours a day until somehow I didn't freeze in the winter. And still I had to be with all my coats on, with no heat, in 32 degrees indoors, and I think 17 degrees outside. And it was awful. I don't know how I made it here. And I did enough work. When I was growing up, we lived in regular houses. If you wanted to turn the air conditioning on, you put a little switch, or your parents did it, and it was always the right temperature. There's never any problems with it. It's like a newer house. And I had to move into this house, and no matter how the fuck I felt, continually doing work. It went on for years until it was kind of like the houses that I was used to living in. And still, it's pretty sad. This is almost crazy and awful. This refrigerator. I didn't even want to show you what's inside of it that I've had to eat out of. But I have to clean up the water from the bottom of it and work at it. And this, like, it doesn't, it's gotten messy again, you know? This, it freezes at the bottom. See, that's ice that freezes. But as it goes up towards here, it's like a refrigerator. And I'm going to throw those out. I have to clean this because I hate that shit. That was where I was left. I hate that beer. It's so awful. And, and, um, and so as it goes up here, it's a refrigerator. But down here, it's a freezer. And it's up to me to somehow get the money or get Home Depot to get a refrigerator up this road or get my friend to deliver one and finally, get this refrigerator out here. I can take these things off and keep the faces of this as art, like to put on the wall somewhere. I'd like to kind of keep it, or I can give it as I don't know, and put a real like new refrigerator in here. They don't have to constantly. I couldn't see. I couldn't see because the light doesn't work in here, and there's this gross stuff in the back, and it's like now I'd probably gotta clean it again, but so. But if you clean it and keep up after it, it works really well. It works really well. And it's like another thing to work at here that is like just keeping up after this huge house and keeping the dust out of it, is like something to do. And I don't know if I wanted, but it's not that hard to do. The thing that was difficult was having it like ready to sell, like, cause it's not even really that messy, This, all I gotta do is pick up these things, a few things, and this is all cleaned up. There's no dust back here. There's no dust back there. This is pretty good, and so it's like I just pick up a few things there, pick up a few things in the kitchen, and pick up my clothes or whatever. There are no clothes hang on there, and I've been having to feel like I might have to not get to live here anymore, and it's felt like that for a year or two because I wanted to do what was right, or 3 years or something. I don't know how long. I really don't know. But looking back at my videos 3 years ago, I had stuff all over the floor. I had stuff all on the shelves. Like it was really a house that I felt like I didn't have to worry about that much. And then I got everything all cleaned up, but it's not presentable to show right now. I got to make the bed and clean up a couple things, but it'll take, it was there yesterday besides making the bed, I think, or 2 days ago, but, and I mowed the lawn and then it was ready. And these are my clothes. These are like all my clothes, and you just put them in a bag. So, like the entire downstairs, it's starting to get dark, and looks pretty good. Quiet. Earlier today, I had one beer, but it was only 100 calories. It was this. Has no added sugar. No added sugar. Tastes like sparkling water. It's the healthiest alcohol there is of today. They just came out with this. It's amazing. It's only 100 calories and it has 5.5% alcohol. And it tastes like sparkling water. With the sparkling water, it has a tiny bit of flavoring that's really healthy. But it's alcohol still, So for alcohol, it's the healthiest, but it's still alcohol. So that's better to drink this that only has 100 calories than to drink that the beer that's like 200. And so I had one of those earlier because I was having a mental breakdown or something, and then I opened this and didn't drink any of it. This is a full one. I haven't drank any of it. I'll probably pour it out in case a bug got to it, or to save money. This sucks. I don't know. I guess no bugs got to it. I might put it in the refrigerator if it, I don't know, but I'll probably pour it out. And so I had to save money. But this is all clean. This is all cleaned up in here and stuff. It's it's all like it's ready for her her and the kids if she wants to move here, because I got all my stuff out of the way pretty much. These chairs. This is a good computer chair I got for my son, like a gaming chair. I got a bunch of them because he liked gaming chairs, and then he just didn't get here. One or two of them got old. That one got so old in front of my computer, you can't really sit in it anymore. But I threw it away. But Al brought it back inside to save money, and it's like it leans side. It's like I threw it out the door onto the ground and thought it was garbage because I didn't want to carry it down. And then he brought it all the way and then he brought it all the way back inside because he thought it was because he wanted to save it. And but everyone knows what this looks like in here, I guess, if you've seen my channel. I got this cleaned up. I got this cleaned up in here. You know, it doesn't have a really expensive stove, but it has some kind of. There are two kitchens in the house. You know, it has this refrigerator. It was $1,000 new. I got it from Home Depot. I had to carry it into the house all by myself. I had to carry it through here. I had to take off the trim from these things and carry it in all by myself into there. I think Al couldn't help me. He was getting in the way. I brought it through this door. It was a little less than $1,000 in 2016, and it's a good refrigerator. I got it. I thought it would help the value of the house. And he cooked so much, it put a bunch of wear on it. But it's still like new. It kind of, it's okay. This is a good refrigerator. See, I've got a good refrigerator, but this is a good refrigerator. But and this has more food. I finally got food, so I have a good refrigerator downstairs. Oh, there may be a mouse in here. There may be a mouse in here. I swept all this. I swept the entire place the other day. It's pretty much ready to sell, I think. You know, I could put that chair in the way. I can't, you know, but I shouldn't sell it. I gotta brush my teeth. I saw a bug fly somewhere. But I swept this entire place up the other day. There weren't really any bugs in here besides one or two, or like 5 of them, of these little millipedes that live in the woods. These little millipedes that live in the woods, and they're nice. And you know, these little millipedes that live out there in the woods. And one of them came so this is downstairs. I don't know what somebody would do down here, but I have to keep this clean too. And here's a humidifier, and I haven't had to really use this because I put gutters, real gutters on the house to keep the water away from the house. So see, like there, those are real gutters, so the water doesn't come near the house. And in the front of the house, it goes away from the house. So the water, it used to have a small dampness problem from the water falling off the house in the back, and it would kind of come through there's never water in here, that's the thing. You can't really get water in this basement. It's pretty amazing because it doesn't flood. Even if there was a flood, a real flood in the town, it wouldn't get any water in here because there's a little stream on that side way down there, and it can't come up that high. It's way down there. And oh shit. And there's another stream on the other side way down there. So if it was the end of the world, you'd have a water source, a fresh water source. You can put it in a pot and boil it on the wood burning stove, and you'd always have water. There's plenty of firewood to keep warm in the wood burning stove. So if it was like the end of the world, it would be okay. But it doesn't get any water in the basement. That's pretty good. Space Jew. And then I gotta brush my teeth. I'm gonna brush my teeth. I really feel like I gotta brush my teeth. All the lights are off down here. So I had to do all the work to this house. But I did hire people because my parents helped me with money. And my mom helped me with way more. They helped me with way more than I'd like to even say. And they got pissed when I went to LA because I was spending a bunch of money, I think. But they're not pissed. I mean, they may have given me $2 million or $3 million. They may have given me $3 million in my entire life. That's how much they helped me. You know, because when it adds up, I'm 44 years old. You know, when I was younger and I was working for them, I made a bunch of money. But I spent a bunch of money. That was the problem. I spent on creating the illusion that I had more money. I spent on cars. I spent on credit cards, usually towards a film. I spent more on clothes. I spent more money on things that don't matter, and I didn't save and have as much of a net worth. But now I really know that I have a net worth in this house. So that's been a miracle that God gave me, because I didn't know if I had no money or anything, but I kept working and working on the house. And then by some miracle, we found out it was I found out it was worth more money. I started finding the real estate went up, and also that's the thing that I was working on the whole time. So it made a bunch of money. So I have some money, but I don't know if I'm, you know, it's not that, it's not as much as, like, you know, people have so much, you know, I don't know how much, I know how much it is, but I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna brush my teeth. This feels gross. I have to brush my teeth. It's a little weird brushing my teeth on camera. I feel like I gotta do something about my hair. It looks so blonde, and I didn't shave today. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't look like if I was in really awesome shape and this had more definition in my face, then it'd be like better looking. I don't know. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Now I have to use Listerine. I don't know why it smelled bad breath. It's so gross. Really gross. I'm gonna use Listerine. What did I say? I must have said. I know. Alright. Now, this is like the stuff. I'm gonna keep the countertops kind of clean. So if I had to leave my house at any moment, I could put it for sale and leave. But I think I can't do that right now. I think I can't do that till at least next year. Because going to LA was crazy feeling. It was constantly driving, constantly not knowing if I'd have a place to stay from day to day. And it took so much effort just to have somewhere to stay. And I don't know. I think I drove 5,500 miles. So like across country is like 3,000. And I went back, or 2,000, it might be 2,000, I don't know. And then I went back to Texas 1,000 miles. And when I got into Texas, it was like, whoa shit, I can't go there yet. They're pissed. And I didn't know until I drove all the way from California to Texas. And that was 26 hours of driving. And I didn't know they were pissed. Like her dad, I think, because I yelled at him on the phone like a military biggest powerful fucking one. So pissed off that he had my kids there for 5 years. He had my kids there for 5 years. So I yelled at him, and then I thought he was gonna hurt my body, do something bad to hurt my body, and throw me in jail. Throw me in jail was the other one. So I was like, when I got into Texas, I started seeing all the Texas license plates, and I was like, it was traffic, and I was having to drive kind of fast, and I was like, this horror that came through my mind of what would happen to my body if I tried to make it there to see my kids. And the other thing they also wanted to do is also throw me in jail, I thought. because I had yelled at her father after they had my kids there for 5 years. I yelled at him on the phone and said some mean stuff, and it was awful. But so I'm trying to get along with him better, but I wouldn't hurt his body. Like I wouldn't want to hurt his body, and but but I think they, they're getting older and stuff, and they saw me in my videos being like kind of athletic or something. They thought how, I don't know, and they're like, they thought it wasn't fair, or I don't know, because people are really getting older, and I don't know what it was, but I wasn't able to Texas, everywhere. Oh shit! I had to turn around and drive to I had to turn around and drive to. I had to turn around and drive all the way back to California. And then when I was driving through the desert, it was warm and it felt good on my body, and I liked it. And I was like, yes, this is fun. And every time I went through the desert, I liked driving through the desert. Somehow they're like there's less traffic. Even if cars drove by, it's something about it was like, I like the warm feeling in my body. I like the way it felt. And when I was in a car, but I guess that desert climate wouldn't affect me in a bad way, because it felt good being in the desert, driving across the desert. But I was like by myself in a car, that was the only happiness, was like having to drive 52 hours to Texas and back. And then I don't know how I found a hotel. I was worked because I lost my debit card, and it wasn't my idea of knowing I'd have a home to come home to there, and getting to go out and do fun things that I like to do. It wasn't any of that much. I barely made it to the pool. I barely was able to make it to the pool before the next day they kicked me out. They almost kicked me out of the hotel because I showed them, I had plenty of money, but my card didn't work for some reason. I mean, they didn't kick me out, but it was worrisome. It was worrisome. So I don't want to do that again. And if I do go back to California, I'll get a place to stay. And they won't fucking kick you out. Like if you try to drive across country, you better have a credit card and a driver's license. And if you lose your license, you won't have anywhere to sleep. You won't have anywhere to fucking sleep. And you'll have to be driving on the road till who knows what the fuck. And you might have to sleep in your car, or who knows what the fuck. It's scary as shit. It's scary as shit for most people. So just going across country, if you lose your license, it could be a waking, having to drive, no matter how the fuck you feel, scared that you don't want to stop in the ghetto. It's fucking, it's okay, but it's like, not my idea of a good time. Not my idea of being in the good neighborhoods of Los Angeles, where there's no crime, where you can work on movies. Like it felt happy all those years when I was in Los Angeles. When it felt okay in Los Angeles, other than when I had to actually live in the ghetto and shit. I don't like that kind of stuff. And going back to my parents, there's things like it was never possible with Danica. We didn't go in the ghetto. We never went in the ghetto. We didn't be a part of that. We didn't have to be a part of any of those things, And but I don't know. That's not the type of shit that I like in LA, I don't want to go to downtown LA. Why the fuck would I have it ended up in downtown LA? What a stupid ass place. I don't like it. Sunset Boulevard, I like that. I don't even care. I'm gonna go. Bye. This turned into somebody being pissed, right? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. Bye.